In this video, I'm going to show you a really cool trick to get a super aggressive mix down by getting a whole bunch of crunch in your tops that sounds really nice. This is great for like more aggressive bass heavy music, for example. And I want to play you this demo right now before we do the effect. It sounds like this. This is just drums. So the thing to listen for is there's no sidechain going on between the kick and the tops, meaning there's like no fading when the kick hits. It's just doing this. But a really cool thing we could add is like a crunch layer whenever that kick's hitting. And the way you do this is with Ring Mod Sidechain. A lot of people are talking about this right now because of the new plugin that's just come out, Kilohertz Compactor. And what I'm going to do is throw that on my tops layer, like so. And we are going to set up a sidechain with the kick and even the snare, I think, to this layer too. So we'll do that like so, and we'll add a second one for kick and one for snare. So what happens when you set this up, you're going to hear kind of the tone it gives. I'm just going to get this going on both of them. You can kind of hear it right now when I set our attack to 0 for that kick, but I'll do it with the snare as well. Right now it sounds like we've got some distortion going on, and this is actually a kind of effect that you get with Ring Mod Sidechain. You'll notice if I unlink the kick and snare from the master, meaning they're still going into that plugin, but you're not going to hear them. Pay attention to what this sounds like. You hear that crunch when it's supposed to be hitting there. For the kick and the snare. And I can actually visualize this if we open up an oscilloscope and zoom in a bit so you can see this. Like that. Because of the way Ring Mod Sidechain works, there's never actually a bit here where it's just doing like a clean fade in. It's instead coming in and out really, really fast, kind of in line with the kick, so that way you get perfect sidechain. This is something I've made some videos on before already. But what that sounds like, because it's coming in so fast, you get that crunch, which if you were to do an ordinary sidechain, where you were just like doing like say a fade or just like volume, automation or anything like that, you're not going to get that. It's going to be more clean, and that's not a bad thing. Often that's even desirable. But in certain types of music, you're really going to want this crunch. You're going to notice you'll hear it in a full mixdown, and it sounds pretty good. To give you a demonstration of it, just like if we had something more here than just drums, I'm going to grab just like any random bass loop, and I'm going to do the same type of sidechain to that as well. So it's going to be doing it to the tops and to this bass loop. Why not? Let's drag that in. We'll put this on an unused mixer. Going to point my kick and my snare to it and set up the sidechain once again. And if you want an in-depth tutorial on how to use this plugin, I've got a video on my channel for that as well, which you should definitely check out. Right now I'm just kind of going through quickly to show you what this would sound like. So we'll do this for kick and again for the snare. So again, I've unlinked these from the master, so it sounds like this. Very up and in your face, but you'll notice when we hit play, that sounds really, really crunchy and pretty cool. I'm actually going to try out a couple of different bass loops so you get a feel for it here. That one's really cool. And again, if you listen for where the kick and snare would be if I unlink them. I've added a bit of look ahead and release to it to make it a little gentler because it was a bit harsh. But you do have the control to do that with that plugin, which is great. This is a really cool trick for especially high end, but really it's doing things full spectrum, which is great. I'm definitely going to be using this quite a bit. This is something I hadn't really done before, because setting this up used to be pretty complicated, but now it's not. Like if this is helpful and subscribe for more. Also, be sure to hype this video if you have that feature now. It's something new YouTube's introduced. If this was helpful, be sure to press that, as that would help get my videos out to more people, which would be great. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.